In this video, I'm sharing with you a few habits that stop people from achieving their goal. One habit of people that land many in trouble is to talk about a person they really don't know deeply about. Let's not go into why they do it. But this is taken very seriously by gullible people, which entirely confuse them and go off their track. A gullible person is someone who tries to make everyone happy and he or she end up the loneliest of all. A proactive man is someone who is in complete charge of their emotions and they know what to expect. They prepare themselves for various possibilities in life while they are yet to come. When there's anything hard to handle, they do not avoid it. Instead, they think of different ways to handle it. When the mind is clueless, it is going to run in thousand different ways with no direction. One form of proactiveness is to set a path as to which way their thoughts have to flow. When the answers don't come, they earn it, learn it, and seek for it. They set a goal that is exciting and seems impossible to reach. One of the life serving habits that you could develop is to have a little to do list for each day in your life. If this list appears unachievable, do not drop them. Increase your efforts. Focus on how and avoid never and why not. When there is a change, there's always a resistance from inside. This inner struggle is the only challenge for you to reach your goal. When you win this struggle, you can achieve anything and everything. So quit simply talking about your goals, even to yourself, and start working towards them. The next habit is probing on the goal all the time, even without eating or sleeping. If this happens, if that happens, and then getting frustrated and getting tired and seeking distraction to cool the brain. Again, a whole bunch of junk into the head. Finally, the time comes for action. People get fatigued to perform. A recent study shows that a modern human have around 60,000 thoughts per day. Our brains are overstimulated. We can't fix our problems that is out of our control, yet we can fix our thinking. In that way, the problem will get fixed by themselves. Pay attention to what you're paying attention. Thoughts go everywhere freely. How often do they move in the direction you want or choose? That matters. You don't reach your dreams, you create it. By picking very carefully what you want and which one to keep and what to let go. I was reading a beautiful story the other day where there is three men who were sailing on a boat and suddenly strong winds started blowing. The boat started trembling and they all got very worried. One man started yelling, "We all are going to die, and this can't happen to us." And he was fussing about it. The second man said, "Well, I'm sure it's not going to affect us, and I strongly believe in that." The third stayed quietly and started adjusting the sail. Only action can create change. You are not what you think or say. That doesn't define you. But what you do define you. Do not waste your time in thinking, speaking, complaining, and fussing. Keep calm and stay focused, and that is the master key to reach your goal. Action always makes us realize that the words are just mere sound. Never lose your power of action being bound by words. Do you know how many talented people never attempted to try even just because they don't believe in themselves? The way you think, talk, and act in tough times determine who you are. Nothing is impossible unless you got a bit careless of keeping up your desire high. In the first place, you start by believing in yourself and act on your own, then your dreams would follow you. The distance between you and your reality can be filled only through action. People start trusting you when your own words and action go in the same line. When your thought, words, and action are working at the same line, that is the heaven on earth. To know the best way to do it, you have to do it. Do not imitate someone else, whatever could be your dream. When you get into the habit of someone for so long, then you just start thinking that's you. The result is that you lose yourself, which is going to be daunting you always and call for its own expression. One question to ask when you perform an action is to ask yourself, why? Why are you running behind something? Is that what you really wanted? Or someone else told you to do so? Find out if that's really coming from you. Sometimes it takes time to find out. It's very quiet among all these outside influences, and also because you never actually listened to yourself. So your mind is not used to make that strong, bold choice. And that doesn't mean that it's never going to tell you. And you keep running behind the things you are really not sure whether you want it or not. And let anything and everything take control over you. One way to find out if you're really doing something that you wanted is that you will never be struggling, but rather enjoying what you're doing. Because the journey is more beautiful than the destination. And in fact, there's no destination. The only one who can make you strong is you, yourself. True strength is what you find within you. The only one whom you have to win is your own negative thoughts. Do not fear to be different. Another aspect is FOMO, that is the fear of missing out, where people end up in missing out all the things that they really wanted. They pay attention to other people's eye and scale themselves based on it. Many people run cause someone else wanted it and they have never thought about whether they really wanted it or not. They want to match up with the crowd. As a part of the society, we do have a role to fulfill, but life happens at a larger level. People think if they are not going to stand out, then they are going to miss out on something that others could get. People have a long day at work and then they come back home and they sit in their couch with the TV in front of them and a coffee cup. This is their so-called relaxing time and they think of all the things that they didn't do well and missed out. If they are fatigued at their relaxing moment, then their performance time is also going to be the same. Dare to miss out being the part of the majority. Dare to drop the deeds that you are doing because of social pressure. Dare to be yourself no matter what people tell you. Many start trembling when they are asked what they are passionate about. They are like, oh, I really do not know. And they think they are in some sort of trouble. Passion is not where you're looking at the clock and thinking, another half an hour more, and I could finish this work and go watch a movie. Passion is that act that you would do even without knowing that you're doing it, just like your heart is beating. It goes on by itself. You do not have to really make your heart to go dub dub dub. You perform the action that you love to perform, and that will keep going whether somebody tells you to do it or not, whether somebody is watching you or not, and not thinking about who is appreciating you and who is not. Dream is where you get paid not for doing it, but for living it. It is that thing which excites you each time you do it. What more is there in life than to wonder, explore, and have new experiences? Life is all about what is happening within you and let it show the way. Be your own competitor, and actually, there is no one else who is there to prove. Your life will be much more beautiful this way. Another aspect is overanalyzing the past or over worried about all the horrible things even before it ever happened. How can you cross the bridge even before reaching it? People carry too much on their head, and that is the number one cause of their misery. People are not able to see their own progress or even opportunities that they are looking for, which is right in front of them. And they fall into more frustration and more overthinking. Let me tell you a story. There were two rats happily playing and running around the house. The house owner one day caught them and put them in a cage. The rats panicked and somehow wanted to get out of it. The first rat kicked on the lock, gave it a huge bang, bite it very hard. He couldn't open it and he got very frustrated. After trying many times, ended up being burnt out and fell down. The second rat came up to the door and simply opened the door by holding the handle and found out that the cage was not even locked. Solutions are very simple. It is rather made complicated by an overactive mind. It is perfectly okay to simply do nothing. It is okay to sit back, relax, and not go banging on your head for an answer. Too much of analysis is where people create problems that do not even exist. It causes people to take up failure even before they tried. When they dwell too much on their thought, it becomes their reality. Thought journals can help you to get to know in which way your imagination faculty is working. Closely watch and see how many of your thoughts are working for you and how many are causing you hurdles. When you get to know what is happening within your mind, accept it rather than fighting over it. Acceptance is that point where you neither believe nor disbelieve what your mind tells you. Create a little space in your mind to see its own functioning. Bring it back each time it is thinking about the past or future. One thing we need to be clear is that you're not controlling it. Instead, you're trying to get intimate with your mind. If the problem is created in your mind, then it has to get solved also in your mind. Stop being a victim of what happened to you and instead make a choice to become what you choose to. Feeling guilty gets you into the trap of overthinking. Realize that you cannot control everything. When your mind starts to overthink, sort them out into two parts: the things that are in your control and the things that are not in your control. Start developing acceptance zone to the experiences that are gone and have full faith on the things that are yet to come. When they hear this, people often say, I'm not so goody-goody, or I'm not here to serve anyone. You are not doing this for anyone else. You're doing this for yourself. There's nothing in this world that can trouble you more than overthinking. Step out of your thoughts that are not even true and it's just borrowed from someone else. You cannot see the future with your mind. Think about all those doors that you're trying to open so hard, but in reality, they are not even locked. And you just have to stop banging so hard and take life as it is.